If your partner has already moved on after a breakup and it's only been a few days, a week, or a month, and you're wondering, did this relationship mean anything to them? Why have they moved on so quickly? Did they not love me? This video is for you. I am going to mention 4 reasons why people, especially dismissive avoidants, move on so quickly from a relationship. Hello and welcome back to this channel. My name is Patrycja Mahocka. I am an attachment theory coach and the owner of the Love and Thrive School, where I offer coaching and also online courses to heal your attachment style. Dismissive avoidant attachment style was created because of childhood emotional neglect, which basically means that these individuals who grow up and have relationships are now unable to discuss their emotions and their needs in a relationship. They also have a core wound of feeling defective, like there is something wrong with them, and they want to avoid conflict like the plague. It is just the worst thing that can happen to them is conflict. And they often have this idea that if there is conflict in a relationship, it is not the right relationship for them, and that their perfect partner is never going to fight with them, and it's just going to be all like roses and sunshine and harmony and peace. So the reason why they would move on very quickly from a relationship is that when they get out of that relationship, they don't have to face all their fears of conflict. They don't have to face their core wounds of feeling inadequate and feeling defective because they struggle in relationships and struggle with emotions. So you can imagine that when that pressure is lifted, they all of a sudden feel free. Contrary to most popular beliefs, dismissive avoidants are also people pleasers. They don't understand how to navigate boundaries and how to navigate people's various needs. So they will either be in the relationship and appease to avoid conflict and just go along with whatever happens, and they will then swing and just take time for themselves and go almost like no contact, or they will just say, okay, I'm going and doing my own thing. They would not even check in with their partner, like, have you got other plans? What's happening? They will just have these boundaries that are walls instead of doors. And that is causing a lot of pressure in the relationship. So you can see that because of this, they don't fulfill their own needs. They don't know how to navigate the relationship. So it makes them feel very trapped. So when the relationship ends, they're like, oh, okay, now I can go out and do all these amazing things. And perhaps they are the things that you've wanted to do with them for the longest period of time. Maybe you wanted to go hiking with them and now you see them joining a hiking club, or you wanted to go deep sea diving or to romantic dinners, and now you see them doing that with other people or with another person that is maybe their new significant other. And it is because when they are in this new phase of the relationship, between like 0 to 3 months, often those core wounds are not triggered yet. Stuff has not got real yet. They don't need to be intimate and resolve conflict in the honeymoon phase. So this is why it's easier for them to be in that new love feeling phase of the relationship, and they look so happy, or they just on their own doing all these amazing things, looking like they have moved on, while you're sitting at home pining and getting over all of these horrific emotions that are feeling so painful. And you're wondering, like, how can they not be feeling this? Well, they are masters of suppressing their emotions. So they usually start to process a breakup from 6 months after the breakup onwards. So often, dismissive avoidants, if the relationship meant something to them, if they really enjoyed the relationship, they might come back at the 6-month mark or after that. Okay, so that's reason number 1, is they don't have to face all their internal monsters, and they have the sense of freedom and they can fulfill their own needs. Number 2 is that there was a lot of conflict in the relationship, or the relationship just naturally dried out for whatever reason. Maybe you stopped putting into the relationship because you saw that things were not being reciprocated, so you pulled away, they pulled away, the relationship just naturally dried out, or there was just a lot of conflict because you had unfulfilled needs, or whatever the reason might have been there, and they already shut down from the relationship for a prolonged period of time before they left, and now this is just the natural phase of moving on for them because they were already out of the relationship in their mind and in their heart for a prolonged period of time. Number 3 is that they're using the following relationship or their new activities in life as a way to distract from their emotions. A lot of people think that dismissive avoidants can deal with their emotions in a very healthy way. They have these coping skills, but they actually don't. They just distract. Often they are either glued to a screen distracting. They can usually distract also through learning things or through activities and extreme activities. So it can look like they're having the best time of their life, and maybe they are for the moment, but it is also there to numb a pain that they might not even be aware of just yet. And the last reason, and I really don't like to talk about this one, but it is true for some, that the relationship just didn't mean as much to them as it did to you. And you could tell if you were the only one putting in effort. Now, generally, a person involved with a dismissive avoidant will put in more effort into the relationship than a dismissive avoidant. However, dismissive avoidants will still show up to some level vulnerably. So say, for example, you have a need that wasn't being fulfilled in a relationship, and because they have this I am defective core wound, they will be defensive in when you ask for your needs to be met. But then you see that they're trying to fulfill that need in their own way. Maybe not perfectly, but they're trying. That means they are trying to show up for you, okay? So in some way, if the relationship was both ways, but it just didn't work out for you, then one of the previous 3 reasons might be true. But if they only called you at night for a booty call, or they were only there because of your finances or whatever it is, then the relationship might have not meant so much to them as it did to you. So whatever the reason is, just understand that if you're taking this personally, that is because you have an insecure attachment style. Whenever we take anything personally, it is an indication of a core wound. So if you're telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you were unworthy, unlovable, that is a core wound. And that is your power to heal. You cannot have any control over them and what they are doing. However, this is maybe an opportunity where you can reflect and go like, was this person really fulfilling my needs? Usually if they are dismissive avoidants and they were not healing, generally the answer will be no. So maybe instead of pining over them, and I know grieving is a process and we need to give it space, but also stop punishing yourself and telling yourself that you're not good enough, because that's not true. Don't allow their behavior to reflect on your self-worth. I'm going to make another video for you about how to get over a breakup. So I'll see you in the next one. Big love.